Well, hello there. My name is Mark Miles, and I love helping trainers, presenters, workshop facilitators really take the results to the next level. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about a different topic that you may not expect, and that topic is the actual skills of the modern day trainer. Now, I'm putting the heading of modern day trainer around this video because I've done many videos, if not, hundreds of videos now. And I've spoken about the tools and the tactics and, the things that we can use to really engage our audience. But I'm going to postulate that these days, we are faced with brand new levels of expectations, brand new levels of, I guess, assumptions and expectations that the audience have on you that we don't really talk about. And here's the thing, folks, the modern day training space that we experience right now is very different to maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Because 5 or 10 years ago, you could get away with stuff or you could do things and not have to worry about what I'm about to talk about today. The thing is, there is so much more of an emphasis on emotional safety. There is so much more of an emphasis on your workshop participants feeling good through the process. There's so much more of an emphasis now on you saying the right thing at the right way, not to offend anyone. There's so much more of an emphasis on you showing up and really towing the line, so to speak, and making sure that you don't offend anyone, right? And the modern day trainer has to have a brand new set of skills that 5 or 10 years ago you didn't need to worry about, right? And here's the thing, in this game, as I talk about with training, it is both an art and a science. It's both an art and a science. What we mean by that is that it is, I would say, 70% emotional, 30% structure, 30% what you're saying, how you're saying it, and your actual content. But if the emotional stuff isn't taken care of, then you can have the best content on the planet. But if you can't actually deliver it in a way that's emotionally safe for your audience, uplifting and empowering and really connecting with your audience, whoever they may be, why bother even delivering your workshop? Is kind of what it comes down to these days when we have the heading of the skills of the modern day trainer. All right. Now, here is the fact. I want to give you 7 tips or 7 areas that we need to really get good at in regards to being a great modern day trainer, whether that's online, or if it's face to face and speaking directly to an audience here, folks. So grab a pen, get ready to write. So, number one is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, right? There's so many aspects to emotional intelligence. That is knowing what emotions you've got, knowing what emotions are in the room, and being able to predict what emotions are going to come up, but also see behind the screen. See behind the screen. What I mean by that is if you're delivering online, you need the ability, apparently, the modern day trainer, there's an expectation that you can see people's emotions behind the screen, read the room extremely well, and be able to predict and know exactly what challenges are going on for people. All right. So modern day trade needs to be able to do that, right? And that's an area that we constantly need to be able to, get better and better and better at. And even in the face-to-face environment, we need to be able to have emotional intelligence and read the room. What's going on? How are people feeling? How are they confused? And all of those things there. Number two, skills of the modern day trainer. We need to be able to not offend anyone. Not offend anyone. You see, here's the thing, folks. 5 or 10 years ago, people had thicker skins. You could actually talk about a wider range of topics without offending anyone, right? Or people actually, I'll say it, thinking bigger and not being so sensitive, right? So you could bring in metaphors or analogies or things that were a little bit controversial, but people are like, oh, yeah, cool, that's kind of funny, right? But these days, people are super, super, super sensitive and they take everything as a real, kind of like they're constantly filtering for, is this a threat to my existence? Is this a threat to my way of life? Is this going to be, what do we say, diversity, equity, and inclusion? all those things there, they're constantly filtering for that. And if you step out of the bounds, you accidentally offend someone, right? Or maybe you're the kind of trainer that does intend to offend, but these days, if you intend to offend, the ramifications are so much bigger. All right, number two, you can't offend anyone, and you got to walk that tightrope. Number three on the skills of the modern day trainer is we need to be aware of the emotionality of the words that we use, right? And that ties back to number two then. We like not offending anyone. We have to be super careful these days of not upsetting anyone and giving feedback in a way that nobody takes it personally, right? 5 or 10 years ago, you could say some constructive feedback to someone, not necessarily worry overly much about how you deliver it, because people would be like, I get it, I can see through the feedback, or I can see that he's got best intentions there. I'm going to take it on board and I'm going to run with it. These days, we need to be super careful how we actually frame our words, frame everything we say, so that we don't upset anyone's emotional safety, right? Now, whether it's good or bad, I'm just saying, as part of modern day training skills, it's what we need to be able to do. Next one, we need to be able to be a counselor. Be a counselor, right? You see, in the world of 5 or 10 years ago, we didn't need to worry about people's mental health. Now, again, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that, even 10 or 20 years ago, the topic of mental health was not really a thing that was something that we were faced with as a society. It wasn't really a thing that we talked about. And we didn't really, as a species, really talk about the stuff that was going on for us. But these days, as a modern day trainer, you are going to find people coming in because they are a lot more anxious, because there's so many things going on in the world. People will bring in their stuff into the training room. Now, good or bad, it doesn't matter, right? As you're watching this, maybe I'm offending you, maybe I'm saying the wrong thing. But the fact is, there is now an expectation on you as a trainer or workshop facilitator or educator or influencer, whatever it may be, to be a counselor, to be an unqualified counselor, to be an unqualified coach, so to speak. So you're going to have people that come into your room, they're going to bring their issues, their challenges, what's going on for them. They're going to bring it into the learning environment. And that's going to manifest in many, many, many different ways. And you need to be able to handle those situations, or know what to do, or have a sense of certainty, or have a sense of willingness and capability to be present for those individuals when those things happen, right? And you may not be qualified, but there's an expectation that you can handle it, right? The modern day trainer can handle emotional situations from their audience participants, and that's highly likely going to be things that they're experiencing outside the training room. They're going to bring it in, or it's going to be emotional reactions based on what they're actually learning with you as well, right? So the modern day trainer has to be an unqualified counselor. So I highly recommend that you go off and get a coaching certificate, or become at least a little bit comfortable in counseling people, but never go outside the realm of your scope of responsibility or scope of what you're actually qualified to do, but at least have an ounce of confidence to know what to do with emotions when they come up in your participants. Next one, modern day trainer. Modern day trainer is now expected to be very, very capable with technology. You see, here's the thing, folks. 5 or 10 years ago, or hopefully later than that, there was a kind of belief that you could stand up, talk, do the whiteboard thing, and you'd be okay. Stand up, do the flip chart thing, and that's all you would need to know and be able to do. Modern day trainer, there is an expectation from your audience that you know how to use Zoom, that you know how to use Teams, that you know how to use kind of apps, that you know how to use AI, that you know these things, folks. Modern day trainer, there is an expectation that you are all over technology, and when you're not, people look at you like, huh? Is this guy any good? Is this woman any good? Have they practiced? Have they used their technology? And these days, you can't get away from the expectation that you're good with your technology. Next one, crowd control. Crowd control. Modern day trainer, there is an expectation that you can control and manage groups really well. So, for example, maybe you turn up to an event very serious. Well, can you touch, move, and inspire that audience and manage that audience well? Many years ago, you could be the generic, you could be the same approach to all groups kind of person. But these days, you've got to be able to calibrate your approach, your energy, your content, your everything to whoever you are delivering to. The modern day trainer needs to be able to show up one way to one group and another way to another group, and be okay with some jokes in the room, be okay with some fun. Many years ago, you could show up however you wanted to show up and blame the audience. These days, expectation, modern day trainer, you can read the audience. You can read what would be appropriate, and you can know how you could show up to get the best results. Last of all, number 7 here, credible results. Credible results. So modern day trainer, I would say that these days, with everything that's going on in the world, people's BS bullshit radar is way higher than ever before. And at the end of the day, folks, people want results, people want them quickly, and people want it delivered from somebody that actually lives their message, right? So if you are out there espousing stuff, you better be living it, right? So the modern day trainer has to be living their message more than ever before, right? So let's sum this up and let's wrap it all up in a bow here, folks. These days, the modern day trainer is facing a wave of new expectations from the audience. You are expected to be able to use technology. You are expected to be able to not offend anyone. You are expected to be able to read the room online and face to face more than ever before. You are expected to be able to be even more flexible in your delivery, right? You're expected to be able to engage your audiences. You're expected to be able to do these things, and taking old-fashioned methods and still doing those and still doing death by PowerPoint. It's becoming unacceptable in the minds of participants, right? So just be aware that if you're going forward and you're practicing and doing your workshop and you're not keeping these new expectations in mind as a modern day trainer, you will not be as successful as you could be there. And I'm going to say it that way. There's a lot more things I could say, i.e., people could leave, people could bag you, people could do this, say this, and your popularity, so to speak, could go down. But at the end of the day, if you want to maintain your rep, maintain your results, you've constantly got to be thinking about these new 7 expectations of the modern day trainer there. Hope you got some value from the video, folks. As always, like, comment, share. Let's get the message out there. This video was about the new expectations of the modern day trainer that we sometimes know unconsciously. We sometimes want to, hide in the closet there. Well, I'm just saying, let's bring them out of the closet and let's just be real with people. And let's just know that we can't get away with stuff that we used to do before. Now we got these 7 things that we need to be consciously aware of and be able to get better and better and better at, because we always want to make sure that we are delivering content in a way that's amazing with the art and amazing with the science. Thanks for watching, team. We'll see you on the next one.